everyone, Jasper here, and I'm back to a new Simpsons video, and if y'all didn't see the last one, go and check it out, and we are back with a new re-reviewing of my favorite Simpson episodes, and this is an episode that I technically did a re-reviewing before, but I'm now having to redo it, redo it, because I felt like it needed to be a bit better on this one, but yeah, it is the Not It. And again, I have watched both movies of what this special is, this Halloween, like, Treehouse of Horror Presents special is. Because again, it's based on the It movies. You know, Pennywise. But on here, it's Crusto. And again, after watching those ones and watching this, I definitely get, again, it just makes me have a lot of similarities to the actual movies to this one, to this special that is pretty much referencing it, you know, based on it. But yeah, so 27 years ago, and so is Barney with his paper boat, which again is a reference to, of course, Georgie on the beginning of the first It movie, with him playing with his paper boat that his brother Billy made for him, and playing with it in the rain, and it goes down into the sewer. And then we see Crusto, the clown, which is, of course, a reference to Pennywise. And, of course, he is saying of how you want your boat back. Right, just like how Pennywise would say, you want your boat? Or you don't want to leave it, Georgie. Bill's going to kill you. And then telling him to take it. And then he bites on Georgie's / Barney's arm and drags him into the sewer, never to be seen again. Again, still one of the saddest openings to a movie, I would say. And then we see Kingfield, which again, it's pretty much kind of like Derry. You know, Welcome to Derry. Which, again, I'm still excited for that prequel series. I'm guessing it's still supposed to come out this year. I know it was delayed from last year to this year. I'm guessing it's still coming out. Still haven't seen an official trailer from it yet. All you see is different concept trailers, not an official one, though. But yeah, I do like the little nod to this. And yeah, we see Homer, which is, I think is supposed to be a little reference to, I think he's supposed to be Billy. Yeah, I think he's supposed to be Billy when it comes to the loser gang, the loser kids. And yeah, then we see Superintendent Chalmers, which is supposed to be Henry Bowers. Yeah, supposed to be Henry Bowers and his gang, the two guys that is with Principal Skinner and Lisa's school band teacher. But at the same time, I feel like, just with this alone, I feel like he's supposed to be Ben. Yeah, I feel like he's supposed to be Ben, portraying Ben. Some part of me thinks it's supposed to be Billy, just because of the posters that he was holding makes me think that it was Billy, because, you know, Billy's brother was Georgie that got devoured by Pennywise. But at the same time, I think he's supposed to represent Ben because of this scene alone, because remember when Henry Bowers had Ben, was doing a knife on his belly, on his skin. So, again, it's supposed to be one of them at least. And yeah, he sees Pennywise come out in one of the bushes. Or, yeah, when I say Pennywise, I also mean Crusto, because that's pretty much what Crusto the clown is in this episode. Pretty much supposed to represent Pennywise. And yeah, he goes down to this hill, and yeah, he's about to get cut. And then we see the other losers, the other loser kids, which is, of course, Carl, Moe, Combo Guy, and Marge. and they help, and they chase off Superintendent Chalmers, aka Henry Bowers. And yeah, I can tell Marge is supposed to be Beverly. Marge is supposed to be Beverly. I think Mo is supposed to be Richie. Right, yeah, Richie. I'm guessing comic book guy's supposed to be again, I would think he's Ben, or I don't know, because at the end it kind of makes me think of Eddie as well. But again, have some references to the actual loser gang, like in the movies. And then we see them going into their secret hideout, clubhouse. And of course, comic book guy is telling Homer that Marge is his. And yeah, they all say each other of how they saw the clown. Like Marge was in the bathroom and seeing Pennywise, Crusto, and the room was flooding. And Mo saw Crusto the clown as a ventriloquist dummy. And then Carl saw him while raiding. And yeah, they go into the library to try to find history of Crusto. And yeah, Homer writing this poem, which like on the actual movie, Ben wrote a poem to Beverly, right? Wrote a poem to Beverly. Which, the good thing is, when it came to the second movie, they actually became together, right? That's what I liked about the second part of the It movie, was that Beverly and Ben became a thing. Like, I just felt bad for Beverly the most. I mean, her abusive, horrible father that she had, and then an abusive husband that she had as well, which thankfully she left. Like, yeah, she was definitely the one of the loser kids that I felt the most saddest for. Up there with Billy, of course. And, yeah, putting the From Your Secret Admirer on there. And finding history of Crusto. And saying of how he dated back all the way to this Channel 6 show with Crusto. And showing books with pictures on him as well, and him coming out of the screen as well, kind of like on the movie, where he just comes out of the screen, the TV screen. And yeah, them actually managed to harm him, which, yeah, they get an idea of how they're actually able to harm him, and yeah, they get these different weapons and stuff. And comic book guy finds the note, From Your Secret Admirer, and thinking that Homer is trying to take Marge from him. And yeah, they go to Crusto's lair, which, yeah, very, very cool, like, I would say, and going into a dark-esque kind of area that reminds me of Five Nights at Freddy's as well. And yeah, the door's shut behind them, and then they see this box that says free candy, and of course Crusto comes out, which then he slips and causes these things to happen, and yeah, everybody is laughing, which then he keeps hurting himself, and yeah, he's still laughing, which, yeah, they continue to make him laugh because he is starting to pretty much almost destroy himself and get these cherry bombs, and yeah, he manages to escape. Kind of like the first movie. And then the gang is like, if the clown comes back 27 years later, because again, it always comes back 27 years, then they will come back and reunite and fight it again. And yeah, Marge shows comic book guy that the letter, and showing, yeah, his name as well. And of course Homer is sad because he's like, but I wrote that letter. And then we see 27 years later, and we see Nelson, Jimbo, and the others, and at this pie shop, and yeah, Jimbo gets killed, and then we see the others get taken out, and yeah, so that's the opening to chapter 2. And yeah, Homer works at the tavern, and we see Kent Brockman showing on the news of more kids getting taken out, and yeah, Homer having to go and reunite his old friends, which yeah, we see Moe at this concert, which yeah, he gets the call of having to go and reunite to take out Crusto, and Carl and Marge as well. And I didn't see any references to who was supposed to be Stanley. Because remember, Stanley was also on this, but sadly Stanley killed himself, so he wouldn't suffer the horror on having to face it or Pennywise again. And yeah, Marge is at this really cool job of what it seems, and Homer having his own place too as they're talking, and of course Marge and Comic Book Guy got together and had a kids, which is Bart and Lisa, and wondering of who Homer Simpson is. And yeah, Comic Book Guy comes in and saying of how they won't be going back to that town again. And yeah, Marge and Comic Book Guy complaining to each other, but apparently it's not Marge, it's Crusto. But then he wakes up and then sees that Marge left a note, and yeah, them trying to figure out a way that they're gonna be able to take out Crusto for real this time. And yeah, the kids coming in, and yeah, them gonna have to be yelling at each other, telling the kids to go wait in the car. And yeah, the kids see this TV, and yeah, they get these things on their phones which show Crusto, and locking up the kids, and their phones explode as well. And then they go back to Crusto's lair and to fully take him out this time. And yeah, they go into the sewers and find where the kids are locked up, and yeah, Pennywise Crusto shows up and shows the source of his energy, which is this laughter, audience laughter, and showing all of the kids that got killed as well, and showing all these different worst fears of the adults, for adults as well, and even revealing that Comic Book Guy put his name on the poem, and of course Marge saying that it wasn't actually Comic Book Guy that did the poem, and revealing that of course Homer wrote the poem for Marge. And yeah, Comic Book Guy sacrifices himself, which that's what I mean by, which really there wasn't no sacrificing. Eddie did die in the actual movie, but yeah, Comic Book Guy sacrifices himself, and yeah, they managed to destroy the laughter source and get rid of all of the things and freeing all the kids. And yeah, Crusto being defeated truly, and yeah, them just trying to look away from the gruesome of his death. And yeah, Marge just saying of how Comic Book Guy was actually brave there. And yeah, them just riding their bikes together. And then it ends with Kane and Kudos just talking about how they defeated their clown and trying to figure out what kind of other stories that they can tell with this self. And them just laughing. But yeah, a really good episode that, again, I just see so many similarities from the movies. I can't wait for when the prequel comes, or yeah, the prequel series comes out, because it is going to be a prequel series before the events of the two movies. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed, and catch you on the next one.